In this episode of Mike Colameco's Real Food, it's all about beer.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Beer is an ingredient for a local bakery, and beer being made at a local level.
Holy mackerel.
We'll meet a couple of brewmasters and get a hands-on tour.
All's good with the world.
And then it's back to the kitchen with my friend Jimmy Carbone, where we'll cook up 2 beer-friendly dishes. It's all coming up next.
Dinner's on the table.
I'm Mike Colameco, chef and food lover. Come with me and meet some of today's most interesting chefs and their crews that work in their kitchens. Real chefs, real restaurants, and real recipes. That's what's on the menu. This is Mike Colameco's Real Food. For this show, I really wanted to find the best beer bars in Manhattan. And after some extensive research, it turns out that maybe the best of the best was right down the street from me. It was a bar I passed every time I walked down Bleecker, called Blind Tiger.
I live down the street. I walk down the street a million times a year because it's just like part of my, that's where I go. My beer friends say this is probably the best beer bar in New York City.
And the reason for that is not only the great beer list, but an educated staff that is willing to talk to the customer and really cross between a neighborhood bar and a beer bar. And so it creates a community.
I want the backstory. When did you get the beer bug?
My career in the bar world started simultaneously with my career in the beer world. I got a job at a big brew pub in Denver, Colorado back in the early 90s. Became entrenched in Colorado's beer culture, made lots of friends, and found this industry where there were still craftsmen who were making a product with their own hands, paying attention to their craft, trying to push it forward, leave it to the restaurateurs and the cheesemakers and the bakers and the brewers to continue making something that they truly care about.
One of the things I love about beer and winemaking too for me in my world is it's alive. I mean, these are like living organisms. Like in this beer, you've got like the primal stuff. It starts with grain and yeast, and it evolves during fermentation.
It's alive.
It's alive, like bread, like cheese, like.
And that's one of the reasons why all of these things come together so well. People are drawn in for many different reasons. And now during the day, we get a lot of people who come in for our menu to have lunch. People who look at this as a food destination.
100-some years ago, Brooklyn had 40 breweries. There was all the Germans that live in Williamsburg, Greenpoint, and it was beer city. And then Prohibition fell off the rails, and now finally it's coming back.
Messed a lot of things up.
Yeah, true enough.
It's only been the last 5 or 6 years that craft beer has really gained its momentum. And now the momentum is here, and that's what you need.
And this is like ground zero in New York City. I mean, this is the epicenter of the beer scene.
And if you want to come and learn about beer, this is a great place to be. We'll help you.
Jane Schwartman, thanks so much for having us in.
Thank you so much.
I got a friend behind the bar. I'm stoked. Thank
you.
Cheers.
Well, Jen got me thinking about Brooklyn and beer. Admittedly, I don't venture out of Manhattan much, but if you want to see beer being made these days, you better head over to Red Hook, Brooklyn, where a new generation of urban pioneers is remaking this old industrial neighborhood where trash-strewn lots sit next to artsy bars and restaurants with rooftop chicken coops. Today, our first stop is Sixpoint, a great little boutique brewery hard by the waterfront, known for its small batch experimental brews.
I'm here with Ian, the head brewer.
Hey,
Sixpoint. Hey, man, thanks for having us in. I've enjoyed your beers from the opposite side of the bar on many occasions. So great to meet you.
Good.
And you guys are like, I guess, the quintessential micro brewery.
Yeah, we do about 4,000 barrels a year here in this facility.
Period.
Which is barely on the radar.
What drew you into this?
Well, I was driving down the road one day with my cousin, and he said, I always wanted to try and brew my own beer. And it was at that moment, something went off in my head, and I was like, yeah, I want to do that too. A lot of people don't actually go to school for brewing. It just becomes a passion, and it turns into a livelihood somehow. They kind of carve it out for themselves. So the brewer makes the wort, the yeast makes the beer.
And I think it's pretty much that time of the day when I've tasted beer.
Yeah. What time is it, like 9?
It's noon somewhere. We're next to one of these tanks of beer downstairs. This is the 007 beer. Don't ask me, it's not beer yet, but it's almost going to be beer. And you can see it's fermenting like crazy. This is just beer in prime fermentation cycle. something going on in there. It's alive. It's beer. All's good with the world. It's not every day you get a chance to do this, but I'm here with the brew master. We're sitting in front of beer that's almost ready. What's inside of here?
Ready. This is our Brownstone Ale. It's one of the top beers we produce here. Take a sample and we'll try it. It's very still.
Doesn't have a head that's moving.
No head yet. We haven't injected any CO2 into it yet, so it's going to taste a little young. A little bit of yeast still in there, but you get a pretty good representation of what it's going to be.
Kind of there almost already to me.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
flavor profile, what?
Right.
Beautiful, thank you. So we've got various kegs in here, various prototypes sitting here, bottled.
Exactly.
What are these guys, experiments getting ready to release?
Yeah, these are all home brews that's fermenting still.
And all your beer, so people know, you can't buy bottles of your beer. The only place you can buy your beer, it's delivered in kegs to select bars around the New York metro area, and you buy it on tap.
Exactly,
period.
exactly. That's the way we like it. It's less waste, it's fresher beer, the beer gets treated better. You never know what happened to a bottle of beer once it finally gets into your hands.
When you're playing and tinkering, you can't afford to make a full-blown 36 keg experiment. So this is the little prototype thing.
Mm-hmm. So we can brew anywhere from 10 to 25 gallons of beer on here. And it's just a tiny little brewery, 2 propane burners. Everyone who works here has total free range over this thing. So we've probably got about like 20 or 25 small scale, like 10 to 15 gallon brews going at any given time.
Speaking of which, when we were walking around before, I opened up this closet because that's where I am, and inside, so these are beers that you haven't really tasted yet. They're just sort of these experiments.
Right, right.
So what are these things on top? These release the...
So this is called an airlock, and air flows out through, but it can't flow back in.
Smart. I love it. Cool. So these are maybe some of your big next success stories.
Possibly.
All right.
Yep.
A few blocks from Sixpoint on Van Brunt Street is a great little pastry and sandwich shop called Baked that I've been just dying to visit.
All right, we're here with Renato. We're half of the team. Sorry, so Matt's not here, but I met you guys a while back when releasing your first book, and now I'm finally here in Red Hook. And I got to have you here. We're doing a show primarily on beer, but you actually used Sixpoint's something.
Well, actually, we get our malt from Sixpoint Ale. They hand it over to us. We reduce it for about 2 to 3 hours until it's really syrupy, and we add it to our blondie. So with chocolate, with the malt, with a couple of walnuts, you've got a pretty killer blondie.
I'm glad I'm here because, you know, in books everything looks great because there's a food stylist and it's shot and it's lit, but then I'm coming here and I'm like, I recognize that and I recognize this. So give me just a little bit of backstory because you were, to my mind, one of the pioneers in terms of a retail business opening up in Red Hook at a time, and a Red Hook that it was like, really?
We were one of the first people here. There was a diner and a restaurant and pretty much nothing else. So, you know, we were surprised when we opened our doors and people actually started coming in. I was like, where are these people coming from? It's been a great, crazy ride, and, you know, we're making new crazy stuff every day.
Hey, we're here with Eric Wolitsky, the pastry chef. Thanks for having us in, man.
No problem.
And I'm always curious about people's journeys. When did you get into baking? Was it culinary school? Was it what you've always wanted to do?
I come from a family of bakers, so like I had kind of like tried to avoid it, and then it just is like I can't escape it anymore. I have to do it.
So what are some of the things you're working on? Because I mean, you're doing these little plays with like salt and
Yeah, I mean, we try to do things that are based in American classics, and then we try to just play with them a little. You take something from your childhood, like a Rice Krispie treat, but we add like peanut butter and ganache and different layers and textures just to like make it more exciting.
I'm glad you're not around the corner from me, or I'd be another 20 pounds up on the scale again. Thanks a lot for having us
Nice
in, man. Keep up the great work.
Thank you very much.
Hey.
A few generations ago, Brooklyn had scores of great breweries. So while we're here, let's visit one of the bigger boys these days, Kelso. These are the same folks that make the great beers for all the Heartland breweries where it was game on, beer time.
Holy mackerel. There you go. So we're looking at how many kegs of beer?
About 600 kegs of beer in here.
Every college kid's dream. I have your stuff in the city, man. All the Heartland locations, it's just prime dope. Perfect beer.
And we deliver directly from here right to the restaurant, so it's kept cold the whole time.
Born in Brooklyn, drank in Manhattan. Who's going to complain? Hey, we're upstairs at Heartland with Kelly. How does beer start? How does the process work?
Well, for any beverage to be beer, it needs to have 4 things. It needs to have malted grain, water, hops, and yeast.
Bingo.
What we have behind us and all on this floor up here is malted grain. So any beer is going to be a combination of different grains, different hops, different malts. So this is going to affect the color. It's going to affect the fermentable sugars, which are going to affect the dryness of the beer, the sweetness of the beer, the overall body, and a lot of the heart and backbone of the beer comes from the malted grain.
Tell me what I'm holding in my hand here.
Yeah, so this is a chocolate malt from England. This is a malted barley that's been roasted and kilned in such a way to give chocolatey, bittersweet chocolate kind of character. This is a pretty dark roast.
So we get this barley, it's pre-measured, goes down this chute.
Yes, this is the hopper that we add the specialty malt. And any beer is a combination of different grains. And we use a bag of this and a bag of that. We dump the bag into the chute. It goes down into the mill, gets nice and crushed up, and goes off to the mash tun for soaking.
How long does it sit in that water?
You're going to put it in there for about an hour to an hour and a half.
Then what happens to that strained liquid? At this point, has some color, has some flavor. It's kind of like baby beer.
The net result we put over into the brew kettle and we boil that up.
This is literally 5 feet away.
At this point, you can start adding hops.
So we've introduced our first batch of hops to this.
Yeah, so we just throw it in right through here. With hops, there's about 40 different kinds of hops that you can get. Some of them are grassy, some of them are citrusy, some of them taste like wildflowers.
Introduce yeast. The yeast feeds on the sugars that are latently, and that's the beginning of fermentation.
Yeah, that's basically what fermentation is, right? The same thing as making bread, is the yeast is consuming the sugars, creating alcohol and CO2.
People don't realize how much a flavor profile yeast imparts in all of these things, including wines.
Yeah.
I mean, I can almost identify certain yeast and certain finished wines I'm having and know exactly which ones they picked. I love it. I love it. It's all coming together for me. What's the next stage in evolution here?
So the next stage, this way. So pretend I'm beer. And I'm
We're
coming
beer. You're
down,
beer. We're following
I'm warm,
beer.
Right? So it comes down into the fermentation area. Okay, now we have 16 different fermenters. And then we let it sit in there for a couple weeks, 10 days, 2 weeks. The yeast finishes its job and settles out. It goes to sleep.
Now, along the way, do you tap these things to taste it to see what's going on? Does that ever?
Yeah. All these tanks have sample ports on them, like this fella up here, got a little sample port on them, so that we can take readings off the tanks every day.
This is almost ready to go beer.
Yeah, this is our nut brown lager that's been lagering. So we kind of pull that off, take a look at the clarity. It's still an unfiltered lager, so it's got a little bit of haze to it. Here you go, you have a little shot of that.
A little shot. I like this. I already like this bar.
You should see my other glasses.
So it's still a little yeasty.
So a little yeasty, and you can smell. The interesting thing with this is the lager yeast has got a little bit of a sulfury bite to it.
Yeah, I was noticing.
But that will dissipate off and become very clean, ultimately.
We have to taste some finished beer.
Oh yeah, we can do that.
I think that's probably the idea.
Yeah, it was definitely the idea.
Finished beer time.
Yeah, right. We have a little sample of our IPA aged in rye barrels from Hudson Valley Spirits.
I've heard about this one.
Yeah.
So barrels that have seen rye whiskey aged in them before, little oak casks.
Yep.
So you're getting something from that for sure.
Yeah, you're definitely getting a rye, oak, a little bit of spice, a little vanilla.
And this is really incredibly floral hops.
Very floral hops. Yeah,
Incredible.
We picked them because they're very hard hops to find in this country. So it's a very distinct, unique aromatic, and a lot of that aromatic is coming from this distinct hop.
This is so freaking good.
Yeah.
This is so delightful. I mean, I hate to dump this out. What's next?
And this is actually a lager as well. It's a golden lager. So you want it to slow down and be restricted a
Look
little.
how different that is.
Now, there's a glass of beer. Born on date 20 seconds ago.
Yes. Born on date, Brooklyn, 20 seconds ago.
Right.
Kings County's finest.
That's right.
God darn it.
Yeah, ice cold. Yeah.
That's delicious. Here. That's wonderful.
Doesn't get any fresher than that. Okay.
Thanks a lot for having us today. It was really
Certainly.
interesting to see this whole thing sort of walk from A to B to C to D, connect the dots.
I'm glad you could make it out.
Thanks, man. Jimmy Carbone, thanks for coming on.
Michael.
Beer show, tons and tons of beer. Jimmy's here because Jimmy's got one of the best beer bars in the city. So I thought, who else to come here and do beer cookery? So talk to me.
Well,
He's getting in it. He's cutting.
We're
Tell me
making-
what you're making. Before we get into this
we're
thing, tell me
making
what you're
beer for
making.
food or food for beer?
Food for beer.
First, we have bratwurst. They're locally made, Schaller and Weber. They could be something from a local farmer.
Smells good.
Real simple, real
Yeah.
good beer food. Once you get them roasted, the skin gets a little crisp. You're like, wow, that with a beer, with a little slaw, and also with a local whole grain mustard.
Brooklyn.
Real simple.
All right, and the second dish we're going to make, it's going to take a little more time, is this bad boy, which is this wonderful heritage pork belly.
We're gonna do a beer braised with one of these local breweries like Blue Point or Omegang. I love to cook with beer. Cooking with beer ensures that the food will go well with beer.
Yes, it does. I've noticed that. If you cook with wine, drink with wine, if you cook with beer, eat beer. Let's get started. All right. May I?
Yes, please.
We're going to get these beautiful little wursts, put them in this cast iron pan. And Jimmy, you told me you do this all the time. The pan's hot, we just pop this right in the oven the way it
These
is.
sausages, just throw them in the oven, roast them, they'll brown up.
All right, we've got a 375 oven preheated.
New York bratwurst. Good to go?
All right, let's make the slaw.
All right, let's go.
Cabbage, scallions, simple. So we're gonna make this little hot vinaigrette. We've got some red wine vinegar,
Celery seeds.
key ingredient for flavor. These things are great.
I'm sure 50-50. That's it, then we heat it up.
Turn our flame up and let this come to a boil. So you're gonna stay here with me. This is gonna boil in about 2 minutes.
You always think you have to do so much more, but this is what I want to eat right now.
Most people think of coleslaw, they think of the traditional American stuff that's based with sour cream, that's
Yeah.
creamy and white. This is this other kind that's kind of great. I think I've done this before with like rendered out bacon too, right?
Yeah, and it's also good with the potatoes too.
You're right, it's a great way to make
German
potato salad. Right.
just vinegar and some seasoning.
We're not going to use all of this because I can tell you it's too much. But this is a real simple way to make these kind of slaws at home. Just hot vinegar over this. Jimmy, you think that's enough for the toss?
Yeah, we'll just toss it a little bit with the tongs, and we'll let it sit overnight.
And it's what we're having here is hot vinegar just kind of wilts it. The cabbage is going to be halfway raw anyway, so we're not cooking anything. And by magic, this is what it looks like the next day. So you can see. I won't use my fingers, we'll be cool here. It's tongs, and also the vinegar makes this cabbage brighter, right? When you're cooking red cabbage, it's always nice
Yeah, it does.
to add
It really
vinegar
does.
because it sort of sets the color. Acids, cabbage loves color. All right, we have that ingredient ready. Jimmy, let's get this pork. I got a big pot, probably a little bit too big for this, but we'll live with this.
Okay.
Tell me what we want to do. We want to get this
We're gonna get that on the fat side down. get it
right
hot,
down. Okay.
And we'll bring over some of the seasonings
Okay.
and
You-
beer.
Got that nice little sizzling sound. The pan is hot.
A little salt, sugar mix.
Be generous here. A little bit of this. We don't want to go. Bay leaves are pretty strong. Let's get a bay leaf in there. Some fresh thyme can go right down on the bottom. We got peppercorns. What else is in here, Jambo? Mustard seed, peppercorns,
juniper,
juniper,
coriander seeds.
coriander seed. That's what I'm looking at. And some beer.
And some beer.
I'll let you do the honors. We want this pan with a lid because it's a braise. And we're gonna pop this in the oven and we're gonna check our wurst. They look like they're beautiful.
New York bratwurst.
Yeah, they're nice. They're split, they're good, they're plump. We know they're cooked through because they're telling us that. Set them up here on this little side towel.
They look great, Michael.
Well, you cooked them. Schaller and Weber made them. I'm gonna eat them.
I'm starving.
It's a tough life. And there's cold beer. Family style, we're gonna plate this up the way you would at your restaurant. Your restaurant's crazy good.
Yes.
Food that works with beer, incredible food that works with it. So, in this little cup, we're gonna do
Very
condiment.
simple.
I'll do it.
My Friend's Mustard from Brooklyn.
What's the name of this company so we can get
It's
some love?
My Friend's Mustard.
Oh, literally, my friend's
Yes.
mustard from Brooklyn. All right.
And it's a whole grain mustard. I eat it.
Beautiful.
I'll
Look at
just
that.
eat it with a spoon. It's
Yeah,
so
it's
good.
delicious. We're gonna put that on the plate.
And then we have our simple German slaw.
Jimbo, can I put this on the side?
Yeah, a little side of the German slaw.
Crunchy, acidic. It's gonna be a nice foil to the
Yes.
wurst, which is fatty and smoky. Hey, caveman style. It's still kind of hot. I don't want to use my fingers. Simple food. You know what it needs badly? It needs a glass of beer.
This would go great at any brewery and any good beer bar like Jimmy's Number 43.
Oh man, I love that snapping sound, right?
So good.
That means dinner's on the table. All right.
Man, this is good, Jimmy.
It's delicious. You can see the little tie on the end of the sausage, too.
All right, pour a glass of beer, man. That time of day. What do we have?
Here you go, Michael. New York State has a lot of really great breweries now. One of them is Blue Point, which is based on Long Island. It's a real simple hoppy beer, Hoptical Illusion. And that'll go well with something like this. Good thing about beer food is that beer food goes well with beer.
You got that right, man. All right, let's hold this off to the side because something tells me we're going to want to check our pork belly dish in a minute.
That's right.
Now, this is a dish we're going to pull out of the oven now. It's been a couple of hours.
Smells good.
Braising liquid's gone down. Meat's cooked. We actually took it out a little bit ago and sliced it just to open it up a little bit. We're going to add the vegetables at this point, warm them up on the stovetop and plate them. Is that correct?
Super tender now.
Pass me that plate.
Here you go, Michael.
See what we can do. Got everything hot, and we're going to let those. Got the potato, a couple of potatoes, and let them kind of get tossed around in this beautiful braising liquid.
I love braising.
It just develops. I mean, I think chefs, it's one of their favorite stuff to do. It's kind of why we love fall and winter so much. You can see what I'm doing is getting this meat just enrobed.
Looks so good.
I'm going to get a little bit of the braising liquid and just drizzle it. Yeah. Get that knife in there. You can see this is beautiful, man.
A good pork belly is as tender as a pork chop.
It has so much more flavor.
Oh, yeah.
And talk just general rules, beer pairings. Like, beer works with most everything that people eat.
Usually the beer and food kind of evolve together.
If it grows together,
yes.
eat it together. Same thing with food and wine, same exact thing. And you must be stoked because you've had this restaurant for a while, and this is like right at the time too, in American beer culture, beer making. I mean, look what's going on in Brooklyn, what's going on around the country. The West Coast is just popping.
When I opened 5 years ago, it was a risk to do a beer-focused place, and it's turned out to be a good risk.
Yeah, it's great, man. You're such a great addition to the restaurant neighborhood. Thanks for helping out,
Thanks,
arranging the shoot the other day, and the great work you do at Jimmy's 43, 7th Street, East Village. Can't beat it. Subterranean beer hall in the New York tradition. And this guy, about as real as it gets. Carbone, thanks, brother.
Thanks, Michael.
Hey, glass up to that. Ain't much left. It's been one of those days. Sorry. Half a glass. You can imagine where the rest
New York
went.
State
We
beer.
cooked. We cooked with the rest of this. That's what happened. Hey, folks, until next week, we'll be back.